Okay, we are going to look at Alex now because I need to obviously inform you guys how to get to the pretest because I've got a lot of emails and comments about people not being able to find that pretest. So the first thing I want to talk about though is people that are enrolling right now. As you can see, I've got a few, and these aren't the only ones. I've already deleted some. Some people are trying to enroll again, whether they enrolled in the wrong period um, or whatever. Um, I'm not going to have you guys enroll twice because I only have so many spots that I can allow, and I have the exact number possible, so I'm going to not authorize you to obviously enroll twice. So I'm just going to show you that I'm doing that right now. Once you are enrolled, you have to remember your password and your username. If you ever forget that, I have all that stuff, so you just have to let me know, and then I can give that to you. So I'm only authorizing you once. If you entered in the wrong class, that's fine. Okay, we are going to look at the student view for this Alex program, and hopefully with that we can figure out where you guys need to be. So I can actually look to see exactly what you guys see as it loads here. All right, so you should get this to pop up. You got your main menu at the top, your notifications. You should be able to click Get Started, and it should take you through how to type things in. Undo, clear, and it's going to basically take you through the setup. I'm going to skip the tutorial though. I think you guys can figure that one out on your own. There's just one more tutorial there. And then it should say Start Knowledge Check. If you didn't get that, then we've got some issues that I'll have to figure out, so you'll have to let me know. But it should look something like that. Next. I'll skip that. Start the knowledge check. As we start this, I'd like you guys to just make sure that you're watching this. Obviously, if you need fractions or exponents, those are going to be right there. You can easily type those in. So for this one, the answer I can see is you take 7 minus 5 and you get 2. So my answer will be in the form of an exponent, so it will be y to the second power, just like that. Submit it. And then you go on. I'm going to skip the rest of the knowledge check. Oh shoot, it says for the demonstration you will choose how you perform. So this is just a demonstration, so I'll say I know advanced knowledge. This is what my pie chart might look like. Over here on the right hand side, it tells you how many topics I have selected. So exponents and exponential functions. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. For this one, obviously there are 37 topics. We spend a lot of time, and you can see that on the pie chart here, it's bigger than every other piece of the pie. There's 23 topics. That's a lot of stuff for exponents and exponential functions. That was a pretty long lesson or chapter for that stuff. So quadratics was the next one. That was pretty big. That's this one. Let's see. So here's what I need to talk to you guys about. So as you're looking at this pie chart, these colors here are very solid, dark colors. As you as you are working on these problems, so all these dark colors that we have filled in so far are what you learned basically on the knowledge check. At the end of the course, if you want to have 100% in the class, you need to have all of these pies filled in completely. You can see that this one is not filled in completely. We only have, well, where is it? Yeah. We only have mastered 23 of the 37 topics. That's pretty good, but if you look up, well, I guess up here, the total, we've mastered 51 of 112 topics. That's a 46% in the class. This is what I'm going to take for your score for this class, basically. That 46 is going to play a pretty large role in your class. I still haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do, um, but I do have the thought that it's probably a good idea to just use whatever you have as this percentage up here as your final grade. So whenever school ends, all I have to do is I have to look up here or look at your pie chart, and it says, okay, so you have 46% of the material mastered. I feel like um, that's a good final grade for you in the class. Now you might be thinking, well, what about all that stuff we did in quarter three? Well, that quarter three stuff is in here. So the exponents and exponential functions, if you knew what you were doing, that's great. If you don't know what you're doing, you can still get that up. Everybody in here has the opportunity to get 100% in this class still. And even if you failed third quarter, you can still get 100% in the class. You just have to kind of work to fill in your pie chart. So you'll be able to see where your grade's at. You're probably going to start, I mean, this was advanced and it was 46%. So you're probably going to start a little bit lower than that. And if not, that's great. But if you're starting at like a 20%, that just means you have to work a little bit harder. This one here, real numbers, we have one topic for real numbers. It's mastered. That piece of the pie is done. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Then it's just going to move you on to other things. So hopefully you understand what that pie chart means. I might take you to an actual student's pie chart here in a second. Let's see. I think we're good with that. Let's see. Let's go to learn. So if you're on your, so if I want to learn some more topics, I can just go to those 3 bars there and I can go to a question. These are what the questions look like, and this is very important. I need you guys to watch this. I've had questions about kids saying, well, I don't have a calculator. What do I do? Well, guess what? I guess the calculator is not allowed for this question, but there are questions where the calculator is allowed. I don't really want to do this question if there's no calculator. Shoot. Might have to go back. Let me try again. So, by the way, if you need an explanation for what's happening with the problem, there's always an explanation there. Let's go back to practice. Sometimes, and I don't have one right now, but sometimes there's videos on the side here as well that you can actually watch somebody. So if you don't want to just read through an explanation, you can go over to the side and you can watch videos on some of these questions. I'm not actually going to go through this question, but you can see that you have some stuff over here that you can work with. Calculator wasn't allowed for this question. I don't think it's necessary either, but there will be calculators over there and graphing calculators if you need to graph and stuff like that. The learn is where you're going to spend most of your time. That's where you're going to figure out, solve these problems. If you get 3 right in a row, it basically says, okay, you've learned it, and you don't need to do it anymore. So if you get 3 right in a row, that basically completes it for you. At the end of every chapter, it'll give you a little quiz and make sure that you know what you're doing. And it won't give you like the explanation or the videos or anything like that on those. But that is what makes those things. It basically says, okay, you've got this. We don't need to do it anymore. So there'll be quizzes periodically that you'll have to check out. This is just what I see on my end of a random student that has completed this stuff. This one specifically, as you can see on the pie chart here, we've got multicolored pieces of the same pie. Basically what this is saying is that all of these darker colored ones on the inside are things that they've mastered in the knowledge check and have basically shown that they don't really need to work on it anymore. The lighter colored ones show me that this student has worked, for example, whatever this piece is. This is a geometry class, so maybe it's like area of parallelograms, or maybe it's just parallelograms. They've shown about half of the knowledge in the first knowledge check and then have worked on things to complete it. So these all need to be, like I said before, they all need to be filled in to completion if you wanted 100% in the class. I don't expect you guys all to get 100%, but they all need to be filled in order to get there. This person has 2 of the smaller slices of pie filled in, so they're not worth as much, but they're done, and he can move on to some of these other topics now. It'll basically tell you which topics you're allowed to work on. Sometimes you won't be able to work on the next stuff. It'll be locked until you get maybe this piece of the pie done first before you work on this one. I can also see time that you've spent on here. As you can see, 2 hours and 37 minutes. And like I said, that is going to play a role in your final grade. If this person were to end the year with 2 hours and 37 minutes, they probably are going to get an F for this, the semester probably, because they just aren't showing me that they're working on this stuff. I have a percentage for each chapter here. I don't know if you guys can see the percentage or not. I don't know if you guys only get to see the pie. So you'll have to either let me know if you can't see your percentage and you'd like to know at any time. All you have to ask me is, okay, Mr. Anderson, what percent am I at in the class right now? And I can pretty much figure that out for you. I can also see how much time you're spending each day. So, today is Thursday, and I'm doing this recording at like 9:30. This person's already been on for 30 minutes. That's probably a good sign. This person got up at 8 o'clock, probably had breakfast, and has been on here for over 30 minutes already. It's not even 9:30 yet. It's 9:22 right now while I'm recording this. So they got on pretty early. So I commend that person. You probably know who you are if you're seeing this. They were on yesterday for quite a bit of time. Over 2 hours yesterday they were on here. So that's pretty good. I think it's got a trophy on it because that's the highest amount of time on here so far for this class. So that's pretty good. That's pretty much all I've got. You'll have to let me know if you have any questions, but I'm going to post this video now so that you guys can see it. Let me know if you're confused on anything.